Now, the world's gone mad. Yes, it truly is a world gone mad when you are so woke you go out of your way to organise an LGBTQ plus march and you make sure you exclude any Israeli gays, you know, to keep your march pure, only to then find out you've been blocked by the pro-Palestinian crowd.
The word solidarity, but then you don't actually show it.
Ah, well, still, it could be worse. You could really stick it to the man and organise a huge mass demonstration of like-minded people against the evil oligarch Donald Trump.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! This oligarch has got to go! No Trump! No racist USA!
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Terrifying stuff. Or you could really show how progressive you are by heckling Sydney Sweeney, probably currently the most famous and beloved woman in the world, thanks to her American Eagle ad.
Sydney, any comments about the ad?
Sydney, please.
That is being racist.
Thank
you. Yes, even Donald Trump is a fan these days.
If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic.
Which has only, of course, served to drive the left into further levels of indignation and outrage.
Sydney Sweeney ad is just another litmus test to see if people can actually recognize and acknowledge overt racism and how harmful it can be.
Overt racism. More credible is, in fact, this young lass, well, let's just say she's got unusual facial piercings, who objects to Sydney's jeans ad on grounds of historical grounds, in particular the history of denim made blue by indigo dye.
Indigo was one of the first cash crops in America, and it made white families rich. It helped to fund colonies. And every drop of that blue was pulled from black bodies, black intellect, and black labor.
It's a good look. That's actually an interesting and partially valid point that she does make, although it is worth pointing out that indigo was in fact cultivated in India and was known to ancient civilizations from Greece and Rome to Mesopotamia and Peru 6,000 years ago. So maybe she should be thanking the Incas for Sweeney's great blue jeans. And speaking of the Incas, here's a woke academic who claims that when it came to child sacrifices, the Incas were actually very progressive. It's just those racist whites who are to blame for giving Inca child sacrifices such a bad name.
They were kind about it, hear me out. Because unlike the Mexica, when you're like ripping out a still beating heart out of someone's chest, the Inca would intentionally use coca leaves and would use chicha and would drug up the sacrifice and then leave them on a mountain, a cold, chilly mountain, to be exposed to the elements. Which, if you're good, a volunteer sacrifice where you're heavily drugged before you die. And I think the fact that a lot of people are commenting, oh, but the sacrifice is again indicative of the fact that you have received a quite white education.
Drug him, leave him on the mountain to die, who cares? Well, what's the problem? So that's all right then. Speaking of pagan practices, it's good to see a favourite star of this show, Kamala's stepdaughter. She's been busy spruiking the joys and the benefits of not shaving under your armpits.
There's something very shocking still about body hair. Most commonly I see, I bet you smell bad, or damn, that's dirty. Little did and do they know I'm as clean as a whistle and heavily moisturized thanks to fur oil. I've been using this heavily in my daily routine for as long as I've had body hair.
Oh, sorry. I wonder what Kamala, stepmom, thinks about that. Perhaps she writes about it in her new book.
I mean, there's a lot of personal stuff in the book. I mean, poor Dougie.
You're blowing the lid off of Doug? What's going on?
For example, my birthday's in October. The election's in November. You see where I'm going?
To paraphrase Donald Trump, I have no idea what Kamala was talking about, and I don't think she did either. Maybe there's a chapter in her book about raising teenage girls and personal feminist hygiene. You never know. Still, it got me thinking. I wonder how young feminist women are faring these days in attracting like-minded, compatible male companions. not well, as it turns out.
I don't think there's anything harder than finding a liberal boyfriend. Where is he? Not even a liberal, like maybe like a Democrat, like a registered Democrat. I just want to find a dude that voted for Kamala Harris. I'm really struggling.
She's raised the bar very high there. A good-looking, virile young American male who voted for Kamala Harris. Good luck with that quest. In the meantime, other feminists are convinced that MAGA men are cheating on their conservative wives and hitting secretly on leftist feminists.
This is a message to all MAGA women. I want you to know that no matter how much you decide to hate on feminists, your husband will be in our DMs, and he will be asking us to step on him.
Of course they are. And let's not forget the trials and tribulations of all those feminist menfolk who, instead of chasing a bit of skirt, are far too busy trying to wear one.
Wobbly wobble, wobble, wobbin', ass so fat, all these...
On the other hand, this woman is concerned about what will happen if they replace Amazon's automated voice assistant Alexa with a male version.
Hey babe, they just announced that they're releasing the male version of Alexa. It's going to be called Alex, and you have to tell it what you want 10 times before it listens to you, and then you have to wait 6 months for it to do anything.
Huh? What? Mind you, who needs a male assistant called Alex if you've got a compliant male foot masseur and one-time famous Trump impersonator called Alec?
'Cause I'm your lady, and you are my man.
Meanwhile, if they are thinking of remaking Mr. Bean, I've found the ideal candidate. No one quite like Boris Johnson. Meanwhile, this young conservative American woman is quite correctly incensed by what she says is happening in Britain under Boris Johnson's successor, Keir Starmer, and his Labour government.
The UK government actually just spent taxpayer dollars to tell all of their citizens that reading The Lord of the Rings or George Orwell might lead to adoption of right-wing extremism. Your tax dollars just paid for this. This is part of the larger counter-terrorism program called PREVENT under the British government, which also included C.S. Lewis in their repertoire of radical right-wing extremist authors. And they list these books as red flags. So essentially, if you're reading 1984 or The Hobbit or Mere Christianity, you should be suspected, according to the UK government, of being a far-right extremist terrorist.
Ah yes, the far-right Narnia. But at least satire, however Orwellian, is still alive and kicking in Great Britain.
Hello, you've reached the UK Thought Police helpline, where we care about feelings, not facts. All of our agents are currently busy criminalising mean tweets and suppressing protest footage, but do please hold, as your thought crime is very important to us. To ensure your safety and compliance, this call will be monitored, recorded, misinterpreted, and possibly used against you at a later date. Press 1 if you've thought something offensive today. Press 2 if you've heard someone say something problematic. Press 3 if you're unsure that a thought you had today might be illegal next week. Press 4 to report your nan for misgendering your dog.
Yes, it truly is a mad and crazy world.